Hi, I'm Casey with Tab Performance. Today we're going to show you a product that was brought to us by one of our customers. It's a decal for the Indian Challengers. We're going to have one for the tank here and one for the bags. If you like what you see and find it useful, click the subscribe button please and help us keep pumping out these videos. And so let's get started. Alright, so ships to us in a nice tube to protect the decals. We've already done the other side because we wanted to make sure that whatever we were showing you on how to do it actually worked well. So the other side is already done. So we cut them in half just to make it a little easier. This one's for the bag, and then the tank one's in here. We're going to start with the tank. So you can see here, I'm going to replace that. So we're going to start with a little soap and water. Make sure you've got a nice clean substrate to attach the decal to. When you spray this on your fingers, it should just kind of feel a little bit slick. That just to make sure you got the right ratio. It's not super critical. Just do a little bit at a time until you kind of feel that lubricity when you spray that on your fingers. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We just put a nice light coat of the spray. Just again, water and Dawn dish soap is a great combination there for this. And then we're going to spray the back of the decal a little bit as well. So you got to be kind of careful. There's definitely easier to take it from the head side off. Just the die cuts kind of have a few spots that stick there. You don't want to tear your decal. They are a really nice, thick, heavy-duty decal, though. Alright, now we're just going to kind of lightly spray the back side of that too. That'll allow us to push the air bubbles out and kind of adjust it to make sure it's right where we want it. So now we're going to cover up the Indian logo. And it is pretty tight as far as how much room there is. So as you can see, it wants to lift on the edges. That's just because obviously that adhesive is still pretty wet, and so you just keep pushing it down. As it dries, it will set up and it'll stay real nice. So we're going to go ahead and get it where we want it. You can see here I still got some of the feathers showing from the stock. So I'm going to push this down. Just use my fingers to push any of the creases out. So now we're going to take a credit card and just kind of run it here to push some of the water out from the back side. These feathers are going to want to kind of give you fits here until it starts to tack up. And don't worry, you can see it's lifting. So when that happens to you, don't start freaking out and thinking anything's going to go wrong. Just keep working it. It's just wanting to lift because we're not putting it on a flat surface, but it will stick really well. Alright, so the other thing I like to do is just have a rag where you can kind of wipe up the excess as you're pushing that water out. Just get rid of the soap and water that comes out of there at the seams. That'll just help expedite the drying process. Alright, we're about 2 or 3 minutes in. You can see that the feathers have already kind of stopped lifting off the tank. They're starting to really set in. So just kind of run your fingers across and you can kind of feel where there's some bubbles at still. Just kind of push those out. Use the card or use your hands to make sure you've got a nice flat decal on there. And then what I'll do is I'll move on to the bag, and then I'll come back and kind of give this one last push out. Now we're gonna move on to the bag. Same thing here. You don't have to take any of this off. It should just fit right up in this gap here. So we're just gonna lightly dust this. If you get a little bit more, it's not a huge deal. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer to push all the moisture out. So you don't need a ton, just enough to be able to give you some adjustability so it doesn't want to stick and set in place. Alright, we do want to get it set mostly where we want it. Alright, so on this one, we had a little technical difficulties there with the camera, so I'm kind of picking up a little bit past here, but we're still just pushing these out. This right here, this contour is going to be your hardest deal. So when you get it on there, you kind of do want to be just right about on that contour here, and then just kind of push it back, keep pushing it into place, and some anxiety is going to build up because you're going to feel like this is just not going to want to sit down. Just keep working it, keep pushing those bubbles out, keep pushing that water out. Use your credit card, get yourself a nice line that's setting down here where you don't see any of these little folds. If you just keep working with it, it doesn't need to be taken off or restarted or anything. You'll be surprised how well it sticks once it starts to tack up. And on the other side, we've waited quite a while before we did the video just to ensure that that was right and there was no lifting or anything, and the decals are really holding up well. So that's pretty much all there is to it. You just keep working those, and so what I'll probably do is give this one about 5 or 10 minutes, kind of come back, check for bubbles, push them out, do it again, wait another 5 or 10 minutes, come back, and after that third time you should be set and ready to roll and have no worries. So probably, I don't know, give it a day or so to dry. We'll go ahead and put the details in the link below in the description. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out or contact Brave Wolf's Customs direct. And if you want to get yourself a set, I believe they also do other models. You just have to contact them direct and give them a shout. Thanks.